sepa.
Hola, hola.
Papi.
Hello, wonderful people, and welcome to today's Charts and Beer session here with Netzo and myself, Michael, or When Sailing, here live from Pro Traders Lounge. We are also live in our bar inside the Discord with our members, so if you have any questions, just raise your hand. You can come up to the stage. We're trying a new format here for you. We will go a little bit over TA and have some fun and answer any questions, and would love to hear your stories, how your week was, how your trading was, and where you did wrong or where you could have improved something, and maybe where you are looking for the next trade. So looking forward to hear from everyone, and we are live here on Netzo's screen. So Netzo, you want to give it a go?
Yeah, why not, man?
Awesome, awesome. Let us know, guys, if you can hear and see us loud and clear. That would be great. And when everything is ready, we will kick it off. I think it should be good. Let me give you a quick... Ja, sehr gut.
Sehr gut. Sehr gut, sehr gut.
Nice one, man.
Start, Michael.
What are you looking at, Netza?
Maybe we can make a quick recap from like just the whole week.
That's a good one, yeah.
It was a hectic week. I mean, a lot of traders love ranges because they can get positions, have those safe stop losses. But this week wasn't one of them. It was like Bitcoin did really from the low from last Friday, yeah, almost 40% move. So yeah, probably a couple of traders, I mean many traders got wrecked because they probably were sticking to their bias, and that's where a lot of beginner traders I know have difficulty managing their trades, their bias, just that shift of bias. And that was one of mine. Like once you learn that, like just shift your bias, you are really a winner. But that's the hardest part, and that was a hard part for me. Just changing bias time to time, looking for your key levels, key areas, looking what everyone else was looking at, and yeah, and that's really the most hard part. Every trader needs to learn and go over through. So let's begin. Just yeah, what gives me my bias is order blocks. So this is my main weapon I use for trading and looking for that bias. Once we were at the highs, okay, we all know we did take a little bit of liquidity, went through, but this was really a small liquidity grab. And if you are a high time frame trader, if you are trading with 2x, 3x, 1x, you usually don't put your stop loss 0.5%. That's really not how they do it, especially retail. They like to give it some room or maybe get liquidated.
Yeah.
So not a lot of traders got stopped out here. So this was still a big, insane liquidity pool that we still had here, and really a unfinished business, a lot of it right at the highs. When we had those swinger sessions every Sunday, I was talking about like just the key levels. We had 3-day order blocks. What I've Twitter and what I understand from those retail traders is that a lot of traders were looking at this. So just like they were calling it untapped support, SR. Just we impulsed up. We really didn't get any backtest, and this is where the big boy play comes in. We had the value area of the whole range right here. Okay, this is spot. Maybe I can change this to perpetuate, because the value areas are different from spot and perpetuate. And once we were here, like my bias was, we had the daily order block here, and we got the naked point of control of most exchanges right below it. So what would be play here from the high time frame players was everyone was waiting for that POC backtest or the SR backtest, and I didn't like that. If we would come back here, keep it in your head, and my idea here, if we would fail, I think we would just tap that value very low, backtest the daily order block, and then continue to lower areas. What was the game here for the bigger players is we had ton of bearish bias, those banks, USDT, BUSDT, FUD, Binance, blah blah blah, like constantly same stuff. I've been in crypto for 5 years, and it is the same stuff. They make you bearish, flush you out. Everyone is expecting lower, but they don't come in this area, and then they make you chase the price. And like this was the perfect game, perfect setup, and this was where my bias came in. Key level, we had so much FUD. Funding was getting really negative. Maybe show you. So I don't know. I just look at this funding rate. This was insanely bearish. Like 0.05 was negative funding at the lows. Like this was just insane. And if we take a look at how funding works, once you have that amount of bearish funding as it was here, you will probably expect a pump, squeeze. A lot of people selling spot here at the lows, FUD, like everything was just everything was there to counter trade it. So yeah, from there on we just went up. Again, we can be bullish at key levels, but we need to see something getting reclaimed. So my like key levels for the upside were the 3-day order blocks that I mentioned. They were again key resistance areas which we needed to reclaim. So once we got back, you can see we got a nice rejection here down, and you impulse above it. Then it's just the same pattern. So you got the 3-day order block, you reject. I did take some scalps here. Again, they were major resistance areas for me, but once you see Bitcoin start to reclaim, and you see people just again shorting, still wanting for lower. I wanted lower, but that's where experience comes in. Once you see key levels being flipped, and that bias just switch it. That's, as I said, that's the main reason people get wrecked. They're married to their positions and do not close them. That's really wrong, and it takes time. There's no lesson in the world that will teach you but your own losses. Like that's how I learned it. Even if I watched I don't know how many psychology lessons and I don't know how many YouTube videos about that, once you experience that on yourself, you won't learn it. That's at least mine, and I know a lot of traders that also are same opinion as me. So yeah, once we started to flip those like key area order blocks, that's when just shift that bias and look for reverse trades. We have a daily order block I was also talking about. We had that impulse, like everything that we teach here, this was like textbook trading. And I was mentioning also yesterday for our members, I was really pinpointing that out. We were again above that daily order block, and there is nothing to be bearish about. And yeah, we back tested that daily as support, again a key order block for me. We back tested that, and from there on, yeah, you can see what we got today. Nice 5-6% pump. So yeah, yesterday we also had the closed session. Shame I don't have a clip of that video. We were waiting for a 15-minute, or was it a 30-minute order block? Yeah, so this was here. We had a 15-minute order block. Yes, no, this wasn't it. Yes, this one was. So again, a really small order block. Um, I was expecting price to chop around here for a bit, and was keeping an eye on this. If we would like just reject from here, then we had our lower high volume areas, which I was talking about, for us to flip, or especially for bulls to hold, to get that continuation. We didn't even break any market structure. We didn't go back test that lower high volume area, which is then in my mind, okay, they probably accumulated here some positions and they didn't want to come back there. So they were defending just this area where you got that just high volume, really high volume dense area, which they didn't want to get tapped again. And this was the 15-minute order block that I was keeping an eye on, and from there on we got that flush a little bit again, scare the people, take out the stop losses, liquidity, and then just come up. And now the key important part for me, which I really try to teach the members, is do not trade in no levels area. So as you can see, we just impulse here. I don't see, there is a little bit of high volume, but there is nothing of big importance from me also from price action structure that I would short here. And this is where patience, I know everyone wants to get an entry right at 27K and then show off his money shots and he's the master, but that's not really like that. Usually those people enter here, then get stopped out, enter here, get stopped out, enter here, and they lose so much money for that snapshot, and that's really important from them. I don't know why. I mean, you are again trading for yourself and making money for yourself and for nobody else. No one cares where you entered if you lost money and maybe get barely some back. So what I try to learn here in Pro Trader Lounge is do not chase those wicks for the upside, for the downside. Be patient and just wait for order block. We had same here, like we make it high. I said I will not short until an order block or some indication is shown that I should enter. So this was a no trade zone for me. On order flow, I really didn't see any major stuff that would tell me like enter here, enter here. But what did form here was this 5-minute order block, and this was shared in Pro Traders Launch. We got that, like every characteristic that you want to see, we got, and I shorted the backtest. So why would I short why would I short here, 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 and get stopped out 4 times? Like, I know a lot of people are also trading on Bybit, and those fees can really kill you. Like, maybe you get that move down, but until you get to break even on how much you lost here, it will take a while, and you get scared. The 5th time you try to short, you will make again a tighter, always a tighter stop loss, and you will get wrecked. What I try to, what a lot of members from what I saw today did learn was patience. Wait for price action to form. Why do you care if you missed out on 1% move from the high, if you can backtest the order block and like if you shorted this whole move and lost I don't know how much money because you weren't patient. So this is one of the key parts of trading. Every trader, especially a beginner, needs to learn. Be patient and wait for price action to form, especially if you don't have any levels.
Well said, man.
There's no logic.
Yeah,
like there's really no logic.
But that's the most difficult part here with all the volatility we get lately. You know, we had low volatility, we had very little volume. Everyone was like, okay, it's too slow, and now everyone wants to jump in fast. Give me a trade. I want to be in a trade, and I need to be in a trade, and that's the thing that wrecks most of the people.
Like they don't want to miss a trade. But in the end, you must tell to yourself that who cares if you miss the trade? I mean, you will get losses. You're in the end trading for yourself, not to brag about it and to tell everyone you entered here. Tell to your mother, hey mother, I shorted the high of the Bitcoin price. Who cares if in the end you are in the negative on your account?
Yeah,
who cares?
that's true.
You will be here the poor man. So that in the end doesn't matter. And same was at this high. Like maybe I'll when Michael will be talking, I'll maybe give some snapshots from general chat what I talked about at that previous high and also at this high. Be patient. Same was here. I didn't, when we were here, I said I will not short until action tells me otherwise. We have our levels to the upside, but we still aren't there yet for like to trade levels. I don't have any levels here. This is just an impulse area where you do not have any price actions, no SRs, no volume. This was just an impulse grinding down, and whatever you take, wherever you take a short here, is just a guess. Maybe order flow gives you something, but like that's again a risky trade, because when you start impulsing, these are 1% moves in few seconds, and you can get stopped out as many times as you would like. So this is not proper trading for me. I have been scalping for like 1 year, 2 years really actively, but I'm done with that because it's too much stress, especially on impulse move. On impulse move, you have to be in your position and just chill and enjoy the profits when the impulse happens. And this is again, I showed this 30-minute order block I was waiting for. All the characteristics were there. Again, if you join, you will see the magic of order blocks, and probably a lot of members will tell you that they are kind of magic. And again, I just waited. I didn't short here. I saw this 30-minute order block. Again, I had price action to back me up and order flow with that. So as you can see here, we went down every characteristic we wanted to see. We did a back test of that order block where I took the trade, and from there on, I mean, you got 2%, but you missed 1%. But here, where would your stop loss be? We could just be wicking up and go down and wick again up and wick again up. So where would your invalidation be? Your invalidation would be something calculated, and I don't do that stuff. I don't say I enter here, my stop loss is going to be 0.3%. I don't do that. That's again just trading from air. Like, why would you put that stop loss there? Why? What if we wick 0.4% and then reverse hard? Like, why would you fixate your trading on nothing? But here we got all the characteristic here. We know why even this wick is acceptable for this order block, because we have rules on it, how to trade it, and all the rules were there, and it was a valid trade. So from there on, as you can see, maybe even this was the high, and you didn't get tracked. You just patiently waited this whole move patiently until you got a nice order block formed here, back tested it, and from there on you got that impulse down. So from here on, we maybe we crash, maybe we go to the upper levels that we were talking about on the swing session. But again, that's again maybe. Here you have facts. This is in fact an order block. We know our invalidation, we know our entry. If you have some more, why you should not enter at the start of the order block and wait for that week, that's again another confluence. And you have facts. You can trade based on something and not on thin air. And this is what I want to teach
I love
every
it, man.
member that joins. This is something you really need to learn.
It's really amazing to see how you approach this, because I think a lot of people also inside the launch got a lot of help out of it when you comment and when other pro traders comment during this price action, because most of the people want to jump in, and as said earlier, always want to be in a trade, but being patient and staying out is one of the most important things, and it's also one of the most difficult things. But at the end, it's the thing that makes you profitable, and that's really the thing. Where also on the beginning of this week we had a few sessions inside, and I was doing a lot of boat jobs last week on the hard, and I told members, listen, I missed the whole pump, I missed the long from the bottom, because I was literally working on the boat. I did not trade the whole week. Came back, gave some levels, gave some nice trades inside the launch. We did some nice live trading sessions, but at the end you don't need to miss everything. So I will switch over to my screen quickly, and we can dive into a few other views. I'm a scalper. I'm only scalping, and I'm letting a few scalps run, but I'm mainly scalping. So I will go over quickly my high time frame view here for everyone. In the meantime, guys, if you enjoyed the session, please give us a like or leave a comment. That would really help us grow our YouTube channel. And if some of the members want to come up to the bar, please raise your hand and we will have a quick chat with you. If you have any questions, if you want to share some experience during this week, that would be amazing. So let's quickly see where we pumped here. Let's again review. We got the move to the downside. We shorted the high here live on a YouTube session here on Pro Traders Launch, so make sure to follow the YouTube channel and to switch on your alerts to get those videos. And if we check here what we had, I told also everyone inside the Pro launch, we have a, where is it coming or not? It is not the one that I want. We had a monthly equilibrium down here at the low, and that was the level that I also told all the members to watch out. Let's move that a little bit away here, and we can see the monthly that I was talking about. So really important equilibriums levels, and if we move away from them, always important to basically get a trade out of it. So let me see if I get this on here. So not only do we have Netso's order block here, but also a monthly equilibrium, and we got a really nice move to the upside from that. So that was the trade that I missed, unfortunately, but got a nice reclaim and told everyone of a few opportunities. And yesterday, actually inside the launch, we traded a nice little scalp long. So we have about 14 live sessions inside the launch for our members, and a few are live trading, a few are going over stocks and forex, and a few are about altcoins and legendary Elliott wave sessions. So really quite some stuff going on inside the launch. And if we zoom in more in detail here, we took a scalp from this level here. So we were discussing 3 potential positions inside the launch. Like, we had a session live here on time, and there were 3 potential positions and 3 potential areas that I was looking at with the members. And the first one here, we got back into the VWAP with some aggressive sells into some volume levels, and from there we moved the whole way up. So the probability trade 1 here, the first scalp. Then we had another probability here for a scalp short. You can see that one here, but that never got triggered because, as you can see, we pumped right through it. We did not get the aggressive longs into the high. And I told everyone what I want to see, and I also wrote it out in our coaches only channels, where we basically tell our members what you need to see in order to enter. So again, here I want to see aggressive sells into the low, into the VWAP, and to see the reaction. And the same here for a potential short. We would have needed to see the liquidity grab here on those highs and some aggressive longs that are trapped. But price just kept on going, so we're not taking that trade here for a scalp position. But we also had some really nice channels here. So if we look where we are right now, let me see if I can find the channel here again. Here it is. We were watching this channel here, going to the midpoint of the channel, reclaiming the mid, and then you can see also here at the high of the channel we got some resistance, pumped out of it, deviated out of it, and back tested it perfectly for another potential long entry. There is a lot of action going on right now here, and the really important thing, also as Netso said, you can short here if you have levels, or if you have aggressive longs going into the level, for example, we can take a short here for sure, or if you managed, that's really great, but you also would need to wait for a change in market structure on the higher time frame, because essentially price is still trending upwards and you don't want to fight the trend. So better wait for levels to be lost. And we have one level that I've been watching here, quite an important level. Let me see where that one is. Here we are. We got the SR flip that we got now. So if we check out what happened with Bitcoin on the higher time frame, let me switch out and go back here. You can see that we have the wick here that I mentioned quite a while ago already. You can see the wick here way longer to the downside on Bybit, perfect backtest, and from there we went to further downside. But if we check out BTC USDT, you can see that the wick is way higher, and that's where we are right now. So that's my only confluence here, and that's a key level for me to look for a short trade if we get additional confluence. So additional confluence would mean losing market structure on the lower time frame, for example, or yes.
No, nothing.
All good?
All good.
All good, awesome. Lower time frame market structure change or CVD. If we get some additional CVD building up here, bearish CVD diffs, that would be a lovely reason to get into a short trade here. But so far we cannot see any change in CVD yet. So I did not take the short trade here on the level yet. I will wait now for some change in CVD and eventually market structure. We could just drop a little more from here, build up CVD again, and then on a nice backtest take a short here if CVD builds up bearishly. And then it's really important to know where your invalidation is, and that's definitely here above the high. But as Netso said, we are making bigger moves over the last few days. We are getting more volatility, so be aware that if you enter a trade against the trend, that you lower your position size or your leverage. You should not just go full position size in and just short here, because again we're still trending and the potential to up is still high. Let me see if we can find something else here. Locally, looking at speed of waves, we got some really nice reactions here. Low pump that worked out so far. How does the high look? Not all too much longs here on the high locally. Let's check out how it looks on Bybit. Also not much of a difference. We're getting quite some aggressive shorts here, and we could very well squeeze them. You can also see here, for example, after we've put in the high, on every move to downside we're getting aggressive shorts, negative delta, aggressive shorts. Also here now again aggressive shorts, potential for a long squeeze, a short squeeze and a small long scalp to the upside. So far still more shorts coming in here on those highs, shorts building up, and we could very well just squeeze them, continue to squeeze them. Let me see how it looks here on the wave cluster template. We're seeing a lot of red all over, always on the lows, getting squeezed again, shorts squeezed again, shorts squeezed again. Yeah, let me quickly check how CVD is looking overall. Yeah, got a nice opportunity here earlier today for a re-entry. We got a little cluster. Just, I think 2 weeks ago, I released the cluster video inside the Pro Launch, how to identify them and how to trade them. It's really simple. So we have a little cluster formed here. Whoop. Why is my mouse doing that with me? A little cluster formed. Let's mark it out and then check it if we can get a nice backtest of it. So that is definitely the next area for me here to look for a backtest. If we get back down here. You can see here previous clusters really well. Cluster printed, pumped, backtested, pumped, cluster printed, pumped, backtested, pumped, cluster printed here, backtested, pump. So really nice confluence. Again here the cluster here was also and is still support here on the higher time frame. You can see here I've mentioned them also inside the launch for our members. This is key support here. If we draw out the cluster here, you can see again very nice, well respected. First time moved out of it, get back into it long, and then moved back into it. Nice opportunity for a long position. And similar here, it's a little bit a smaller cluster here than the previous ones with a little bit of less aggression than we had before, but 25,400-ish area is key support here on the lower time frame and an opportunity to re-enter in an eventual position if we get a retrace to that level. So let me see if we have some other confluence around this area. A few smaller order blocks, web closes way below us. Okay. Yeah. But overall, again, priority is still towards the upside. Let me see if we have some questions. I'm back on Netzo's screen in the meantime. And let's see if we get some members up here. Anyone who wanna join, just raise your hand inside the bar. Would be lovely to hear from you. And we are good with questions, I think, here from Discord perspective. Nice.
Everyone that wants to hop in and chat a little bit on YouTube.
Question here for you, Netzo. Which platform are you trading to avoid high fees?
Binance.
Binance.
We can talk about it on the Charles and Beard session a few months or a few weeks ago. Why? Binance is just lovely to trade on because you can trade in BUSDT pairs and you can also pay your fees in BUSDT. So if you compared Bybit 0.06 or how much they have on Binance, if you, as I said, trade on BUSDT, which has probably more liquidity than Bybit on USDT or USD pairs, and if you pay your fees in BUSDT, then your fees go down, I think, to 0.025. So you can see that it's 16% more cheap than on Bybit. So all those stop losses you get hit, they are okay, but on Bybit they're really like really annoying. On Bybit, like every loss just shocked me. What, like, where did I lose that money if it just hit my stop loss? And those fees are really ugly. So I just mainly stick on Binance, BitMEX. They had like 0.05, but mainly Binance. Most secure platform for me for now. Maybe it crashed like FTX or not. We'll see about that, but every exchange on crypto is risky, so
it's all the same. The important thing here is that you trade on your own exchanges and your own referral links, and you don't go to all balls deep into one exchange. Don't have too much capital on one exchange, and don't trade off.
My main capital is on Bitstamp.
Yeah,
that's like Bitstamp for me, secure wise, and how many security levels they have, and how many contracts with the government, and like just those certificates that probably no platform in crypto world does have. Like Bitstamp is, in my opinion, just most secure, and that's where I keep most of my capital. And all the trading that I have, I just transact to Binance. But the most secure platform, especially for spot trading, is just Bitstamp, and I tend to stick to it for a few years now. So no FUD on Bitstamp, and I know also I'm from Slovenia, and I know a lot of people that work there. Bitstamp has headquarters in Slovenia, and they are legit. Like, I can tell you for myself. So if you really want to secure funds, then yeah, for me the most probable platform to not crash is Bitstamp. So
Yeah.
that's where everything ends. Yeah.
Getting a nice move here.
Maybe I can go a little bit on just Agar trade. Yeah, why we also had that squeeze was just basically bullish CVD. You can see just from lower lows, I mean higher lows and lower lows on CVD, just constantly, lower low, lower low, lower low, and here we got constantly higher high. So everyone was just shorting, and we got that blast off. And yesterday we did have a plan, but we had a plan to short here. It was this area, so from 25.8 to 26k. My main area was here with the naked point of control, with some nice order block confluence. Just this area inside was where I was mostly interested in. We got an impulse up, and here is what I was talking about before at the beginning. Change your bias. So do not, if you see key levels getting flipped, why would you short? If we come back above here, what do you do? I mean, what do you do here? You don't short this. You do not short this. You look for backtest for long. So this is where a lot of traders just get wrecked. They stick to their bias, like this was the high and this is the high and will be the high. This is my dream, this is my bias, this is my my yearly plan, that this will be the high. And that's where a lot of people just go and trade it wrong. Once you break this, you look for backtests. This is a key area. You broke it with nice volume, you broke it with impulse, which is even better, and this is what we like to see on order blocks. High volume area, as you can see here, like this was a nice high volume area, and once you got over it, then just mark it here. No triangle, I want the rectangle. Okay. So once you break this, you break it with impulse, what do you wait for? You wait for backtest. Like if this is a big player, as I was mentioning here, they had a lot of positionings here. It was again a high volume area. What do you don't want to see? You don't want to see the price going lower. I mean, if I was accumulating here and I was a big player, I don't want to be underwater. I want to protect that area, and this is the same concept. So if you're a big boy and not just some big longers coming in or some, I don't know, some retail shorters, depends on what spot is doing. For me, futures is just trading like the ideas, but spot is for me king, and there was a lot of distribution here. And once you impulse through that, backtested it, you probably you have probability. It's again not 100% certain, but you have that probability on your side that it might reverse because we are above key high volume area, and this is where you flipped your bias. So we flipped it, and from there on, price just started to impulse up. That's it. Like simple is that. Simple as that. I know a lot of people are annoyed by that word simple, but once you get the hang of it, and once you see that, do not stick to your bias. If you see some levels got broken, look for that backtest and be on the winning side, and not be stuck to your bias. And this is where you need experience, and no books, no, I don't know which trader, I don't know what lessons you can learn about. This is something you need to experience for yourself. Few losses, And then once you really are so desperate and want to quit, that's where you should not quit and learn this stuff and quit your bias
Yeah.
and just trade the levels that are given to you
Got a good
and not
question
bias.
here also from Carls. Everyone on YouTube is calling big bull market. Do you think we are being set up for a big short? You don't know, all the moon boys, everyone on YouTube is always getting your attention or trying to get your attention, because at the end bull market and bear market and all those titles is just like to grab viewers and to reel you in. You should never listen to people shouting, oh, this is the next biggest bull market or the big market crash or whatever, because no one knows what is going to happen. No one can predict the future. You can only read price action, you can only read longs, order books, shorts, CVD, and real data that is there in the markets, and you can only trade based on that. But also based on that data, you cannot predict that we are moving now 50% up or 150% down guaranteed. Nothing is ever guaranteed. So you really need to be live in price action, dissect the order flow, dissect the order book, dissect CVD, see where it's going, and get a good entry with clear invalidation, and then you are safe. Because there will always be losses in trading, and it might turn out to be the best long ever if we pumped from 20% from here, for sure. But the only thing you can do in the meantime is look for retraces, get into another long in a safe position where you have clear invalidation, or get in a short where you have again clear invalidation. So if we are here at the highs, for sure you could always scalp shorts with clear invalidation above the high, but you would also need to see CVD or some trapped or some aggressive longs at the highs in order to counter trade them. So you don't just blindly short here or short the bull market because everyone is, oh, we're back in the bull market. It's all just a bunch of crazy saying to reel in viewers on YouTube. But we got another question then here. Is there any big confluence levels on the upside at this time? Should we give out some levels, Netzo?
I don't know.
I don't know. I will go over one level quickly, one thing that I'm still watching at, and then I will hand it over to Netzo, and then we're closing it off because we're nearly live for an hour. Guys, you know that the level here, what I mentioned earlier, basically high time frame resistance, is where we are at right now. If you check the BTC USDT chart, so we have this SR flip here that we just tapped, so we need to see what goes on here. We did not have all too many longs here to open a big short yet, and there is still another key area above us. So we still have a really nice CME gap. You can see, that's what I wanted to show earlier. Now I'm back at it. Those two gaps here were also mentioned inside the Pro Traders launch 2 weeks ago when I still traded on the swinger session. And you can see the bigger gap here was perfectly filled, and we got the whole move out of it. We also had Netzo's order block there and the previous month untapped equilibrium, and we have a similar situation up here. So between 27,200 to 28,700 we have a gap on CME, and we still have a potential to fill that and to get a reversal move from there. So that would be the ideal play for me. Range a little bit here, pump over the weekend into the gap, get to the top of the gap, fill it, and then get into a bigger position from this here. So you always need to see, where are we right now? Are we at a nice SR level? We potentially are, but still we did not see any change in market structure. We did not see any aggressive shorts. We did not see any bearish CVD divs at the highs yet. So if we continue to lose levels here, change market structure, build up some bearish CVD, for sure you can look for shorts in this region here. Wait for a little bit higher with some trapped longs, with some really nice price action into the CME gap, for example, and take it down from there. Let me see what Netzo has. Yeah.
So yeah, for the upside, just on the higher time frame, I know a lot of people were looking at kind of this ugly head and shoulders. So we are getting some bullish sentiment. We are getting nice longers, open interest on almost every pump. But yeah, we kind of broke that neckline, and we are getting some. I would maybe like maybe a daily close above that neckline, which would also give some bigger players that look at those bigger high time frame candles, just give them that motivation to enter their bigger positions. So as I said, if we get a daily close from that neckline, and my only like level that I have in 4 area, 29.6, just front run by a little bit. We also know when we were here, like just the same idea. We front run then 20K. Everyone had massive sell limits, short limits, spot sells, but we front run it, and everyone that didn't take profits got wrecked, liquidated. They didn't get the short, they didn't get the opportunity to sell their spot, and they sold it probably here because they were bearish, the FUD was going on, blah blah blah, like just the same cycle that's happening all over every few months on crypto. And like I would expect something like this, front run that 30K, break that head and shoulder this everyone is talking about, maybe
Nice.
even close a weekly candle here above, just to really get every
Everyone
high time
bullish.
frame player bullish, starting to prepare for their take profits, to long, to buy. We are not missing this bull run to 100K, and then you flip it down. Maybe not whole reversal, but I could foresee some sort of reaction where I would take at least a day trade here. So this is a higher time frame area I am looking at, and there are 2 levels. We did form a nice daily order block here, and there is a 6-hourly order block right here. So these are just the high time frame areas I will be looking at for call. If we do reject here, maybe we get reversal, some sort of, and then that last pump and go down. Just simple as that from high time frame perspective wise. Maybe what you should be looking at is also Binance. I don't know how many people saw that, but they did put a nice cluster above us, which would make for a potential less liquidity grab, which is again order flow trade, no levels here for me. And if I see spot selling, big bullish, just open interest going into those limits, then I would expect some sort of retrace, because if you look at the previous examples, where they put those clusters, usually will go down, just test if they are real, and from there on you get that move. Here also they put the cluster, you got some limits just to test it if it's real, if not spoofed, and then you get that reverse down. So this might happen same, take out liquidity, test those limits if they are not spoofs, and make that reversal. So just something we will be keeping an eye on in Pro Traders launch. And of course, if some order blocks form in between, we will be updated. And this is something I wanted to show you, that I promised at the beginning, what I've said. So no trades for me once the highs were taken. This was I was talking about here at this level. So no trades for me once we got the liquidity grab of those previous small highs. And I did share instantly what I was looking for, and that was that 5-minute order block, which just formed, and we got that last pump to the highs. And
Amazing, man.
again, I was talking about at the beginning, no shorts for me here. I will back test order block. So waiting for some sort of order block back test. And what did we get? We got an order block, which I marked, we got those back tests. I think there was also some bearish CVD. I didn't look at that time, but order for confluence wise, it was not nice. We also did attract some nice longs, and from there on, we just went down. So this is something I really want everyone to keep in mind, and don't chase the price. Wait for your most probable setups where you have your invalidation. That's it. It's like, it's really simple.
Well said, man.
Once
Nice.
you know your level, once you learn your TA, of course. So, yeah, that's probably it from
Yeah.
my side, what I have to say.
Also here,
from the level.
got one more question. How are we looking at reactions? And for me, it's aggressive players, aggressive orders coming in the order book. So I count how many orders are coming in basically, and you counter trade them. You can see here just little ones. There is aggressive shorts, aggressive shorts, aggressive shorts, aggressive shorts. You can see more shorts than longs coming in here, and then we always get a nice reaction. But overall, you need to really zoom out, and then you see the bigger moves here. For example, you got a nice move to the downside with aggressive shorts, move to the upside. Also here, aggressive shorts into the low, move to the upside. And we did not get yet any aggressive longs here at the highs. So if we check out how it looks on Binance Futures, also there, shorts, more shorts coming in here. We got here on the move up a few longs, but overall more shorts with still positive delta, so we are getting continuation, but no reversal yet. You can also see here at the highs some longs, but overall more shorts, so really squeezing everyone again here. Shorts, squeeze, shorts, little squeeze. So always look at reactions in the order book, either on Atas or on EXO, it doesn't really matter, or trading light, but look for the reaction. Yeah, trading light. Here Nets are showing some awesome stuff. But I think with that we will send you off to the weekend, guys. It was really nice having everyone here. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope to hear you again on our next public sessions or charts and beers, or also inside the launch. Again, there is still a few more weeks of open doors before Pro Traders launch closes down, so make sure to get your seat, and we will hear you very soon. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Don't forget to give us a like or a comment, and have a nice weekend.
Thank you guys for listening.
Cheers, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.